The story of Ukrainian refugees begins with the events that forced them to leave their homes. War, destruction, and instability have uprooted millions, creating one of the most significant humanitarian crises of our time. In this script, we explore how Ukrainian refugees are coping with displacement, their struggles, resilience, and hopes for the future. A crisis unfolds. The Russian invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 created an immediate and widespread displacement crisis. Families were torn apart as millions fled their homes in search of safety. Many headed to neighboring countries like Poland, Romania, and Hungary, while others sought refuge further afield in Western Europe, North America, and beyond. The initial wave of refugees faced chaotic and challenging conditions. Train stations, bus depots, and border crossings were overwhelmed by the sheer number of people fleeing the conflict. Aid organizations and volunteers scrambled to provide basic necessities such as food, shelter, and medical care. Despite the dire circumstances, an incredible outpouring of support emerged. Ordinary citizens opened their homes to strangers, donated supplies, and organized grassroots efforts to assist the displaced. Stories of kindness emerged, such as border guards helping carry luggage for elderly refugees and volunteers preparing hot meals around the clock. Such acts of humanity became a silver lining in the midst of tragedy. The scale of the displacement also highlighted systemic challenges. Countries unprepared for such an influx struggled to manage logistics, from housing to healthcare. Temporary shelters were often overcrowded, leading to concerns about hygiene and safety. In some cases, refugees faced discrimination or hostility, further compounding their trauma. Yet, these obstacles also prompted international organizations to step in with coordinated efforts, ranging from providing vaccines to setting up mobile health clinics in refugee camps. The loss of home and identity. One of the most significant challenges Ukrainian refugees face is the loss of home and identity. For many, home is not just a physical space, but a repository of memories, culture, and community. Displacement uproots people from the places they know and forces them to adapt to entirely new environments. Olena, a mother of two who fled Kiev, recalls the emotional toll of leaving her city. "We had only minutes to pack what we could carry," she says. "I left behind my parents, my job, my friends. Everything I knew is now gone." She describes the pain of explaining to her children why they couldn't bring their favorite toys or visit their grandparents anymore. Many refugees share similar stories of loss. Despite these hardships, they find ways to preserve their sense of identity. Community centers and cultural hubs have sprung up in host countries, allowing refugees to celebrate Ukrainian traditions, language, and holidays. These spaces become sanctuaries where displaced individuals can connect with others who understand their struggles. In Warsaw, a group of Ukrainian women organized a festival featuring traditional music, dance, and food, creating a vibrant reminder of their shared heritage. For some, these gatherings provide more than comfort. They serve as a lifeline to the culture and memories left behind. Cultural preservation is not limited to formal events. Families continue to cook traditional dishes, teach their children Ukrainian songs, and tell stories from their homeland. These small acts of remembrance help to maintain a sense of normalcy and continuity, even in the face of profound upheaval. Overcoming barriers, employment and education. Access to employment and education is another major hurdle. For adults, finding work in a foreign country is daunting. Language barriers, unfamiliar labor markets, and legal restrictions often prevent refugees from securing stable jobs. Many end up taking low-paying or precarious work to make ends meet. Svetlana, a former teacher from Kharkiv, now works as a cleaner in Warsaw. "It's not the life I imagined," she admits, "but I'm grateful to have something to support my children." Her story reflects the experience of many skilled professionals who find their qualifications unrecognized in host countries. Some refugees, however, have managed to break through these barriers. Programs offering language training and job placement services have been a game changer. In Berlin, a tech company initiated a program specifically to train and hire Ukrainian engineers, helping them integrate into the workforce while rebuilding their careers. Children and young people face their own set of challenges. Many have had their education interrupted, either because they are living in temporary shelters or because local schools cannot accommodate them. Online learning initiatives and educational programs have been set up to bridge this gap. But the trauma of war often affects students' ability to focus and thrive. Teachers in refugee centers describe the difficulty of addressing the emotional needs of children who have witnessed violence. Some students draw images of tanks and destroyed homes in their notebooks, a stark reminder of the trauma they carry. However, efforts to create a sense of normalcy through art, play, and counselling are making a difference. In addition to education, extracurricular activities play a crucial role in helping young refugees adapt. Sports teams, music classes, and theatre workshops have provided outlets for creativity and collaboration. In Romania, a refugee soccer league was established, offering children a chance to build friendships and enjoy moments of joy amidst uncertainty. Mental health healing. Amid trauma, mental health is a critical issue for Ukrainian refugees. The psychological impact of war, displacement, and uncertainty can be overwhelming. Many refugees suffer from anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Access to mental health services is often limited, especially for those living in overcrowded camps or informal settlements. Volunteers and organizations are stepping in to provide support. In Poland, for example, therapy sessions and support groups are being organized for refugees. Art therapy, storytelling, and community activities are used to help individuals process their experiences and begin to heal. Mobile mental health clinics have been set up to reach those in remote areas or who cannot travel. For children, these initiatives often take the form of games and creative workshops, subtly encouraging them to express their feelings. Anastasia, a young artist from Mariupol, found solace in painting. "Art helps me express what I cannot put into words," she explains. Her work has been displayed in exhibitions, raising awareness about the refugee experience and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Others have found comfort in writing poetry or music, channeling their emotions into creative outlets that both heal and inspire. Peer-to-peer support networks have also emerged as a valuable resource. Refugees who have successfully adapted to their new environments often mentor newcomers, offering guidance and encouragement. These networks foster a sense of community and reduce the isolation many refugees feel. Stories of resilience and rebuilding. Despite the challenges, resilience shines through in countless ways. Many refugees have taken proactive steps to rebuild their lives. Some have started businesses using their skills and talents to contribute to their host communities. Others volunteer their time to help fellow refugees or advocate for better policies and support systems. Igor, a software engineer, fled Ukraine with his wife and 2 children. In Germany, he launched a tech startup that employs fellow Ukrainian refugees. "We want to create something meaningful," he says. "This is our way of giving back and moving forward." His company not only provides employment, but also fosters a sense of community among its employees. Refugee children too demonstrate remarkable adaptability. In new schools, they learn new languages, make friends, and continue their education despite the upheaval. Their stories are a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. In one Polish town, a group of Ukrainian and local students collaborated on a theatre production, bridging cultural divides and fostering friendships. Women have also emerged as leaders within refugee communities. Many take on roles as organisers, advocates, and caregivers, ensuring that their families and neighbours have access to essential resources. These women often juggle multiple responsibilities, showing incredible resilience and determination. Global solidarity and the role of host communities. International solidarity has played a crucial role in supporting Ukrainian refugees. Governments, NGOs, and individuals around the world have contributed resources and aid. However, as the crisis continues, the need for sustained support becomes increasingly urgent. Temporary shelters must transition into long-term housing solutions, and emergency aid must evolve into comprehensive support systems. Funding shortfalls and donor fatigue are major concerns. Many refugees are still in limbo, unable to return home and uncertain about their future. Long-term solutions, such as integration programs and pathways to citizenship, are essential for those who cannot return to Ukraine. Organisations like the UNHCR are calling for a coordinated international response to ensure refugees are not forgotten as global attention shifts elsewhere. The role of host communities cannot be understated. In many cases, local residents have gone above and beyond to welcome refugees. Language classes, job fairs, and cultural exchange programs have all contributed to smoother integration. These efforts highlight the importance of building bridges between displaced populations and their host societies. The dream of returning home. The longing for home remains a common thread among Ukrainian refugees. For many, the hope of returning to a peaceful and rebuilt Ukraine is a source of strength. Even in exile, they maintain their connection to their homeland through music, food, and traditions. Ukrainian choirs have formed in cities across Europe, performing songs that resonate deeply with their shared sense of loss and hope. Ukraine is always in my heart, says Mikola, an elderly man living in a refugee camp in Romania. One day, I will go back and see my village again. His sentiment echoes that of millions who dream of reuniting with loved ones and rebuilding their lives in the country they love. For some, returning home may take years or even decades. In the meantime, they work to rebuild their lives while keeping the dream of home alive. Organisations focused on reconstruction and repatriation are beginning to lay the groundwork for a future where refugees can safely return and contribute to rebuilding Ukraine. Conclusion: Lessons in humanity. The story of Ukrainian refugees is one of loss and resilience, despair and hope. It is a reminder of the human cost of conflict and the extraordinary strength of those who endure it. As the world watches and responds, the question remains: how can we better support those who have lost everything? And what lessons can we learn to ensure a brighter future for displaced populations everywhere? This is the reality of displacement for millions of Ukrainians. Their journey is far from over, but their courage and determination continue to inspire the world.